Hello? Can you hear
Oh,
Hello.
me?
yeah.
Okay.
Hello.
Okay, good. Good. So, I'm not sure, Crystal, you just joined us. Do you see the questions in the chat window?
Not yet. I can see it. Yeah, no
Okay,
problem.
okay, good.
Mm.
Because I wasn't sure how it shows up to people who join after it was posted. So you
Oh,
see,
yeah.
so who is the narrator of this movie?
Narrator is exactly the dog.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Why is our narrator so unusual?
Oh, yeah, because he like resurrection. Yeah, revive. At
No,
least I think 4 times.
yeah, not even revive, but a reincarnation, right? The kind of
Ah,
reincarnation. Because
reincarnation.
yeah,
Uh huh.
because revive it's when he's dying and then I'm doing something to revive him to bring him back to life, right? It's a little bit different. So he's
Uh huh.
reincarnated. Um, so here we have a dog as a main character or as the narrator. How is his point of view different from human point of view? I mean, if it was a person, if it were a person, how would it be different from a dog talking about everything?
I remember that he said about smell,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
smell of everybody, of family, of uh,
Of the food, of the shoes, I remember something like that. Yeah. So
yes,
the perception, сприйняття, the perception is very different for dogs, right?
yes,
Mhm.
and he called his family as staya.
Pack, right?
Yeah?
Pack or tribe or something like that, maybe.
Mm, I
Well,
don't
pack, it's
know.
You
вовчастая.
mean pack, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Actually, yeah, I don't really remember why he always mentioned you. I would like we are in the pack, like pack. Yeah.
So it's like the group of dogs who run together. I mean, wolves usually in real life, who run
Mm-hmm.
together and perceive each other as family, like we are brothers or something like that. For this dog, this family of humans was part of his family, his pack. That's right. Okay, very good.
Ah.
Yeah. Anything else that's different about this narrator? I mean, this dog perception. Anything peculiar about that except smells and him seeing humans as pack?
And his narrator, yeah, his narration, very was very interesting. Like, uh, when 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 he mentioned people kissing,
Ah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
He mentioned like, why don't you lick her face? Lick,
yes,
right?
yes, yes,
Why don't
yes,
you just lick her face?
yeah, yeah.
And yeah, and things like he when he feel like, oh, the girl,
CJ,
JC,
CJ.
yeah, CJ, yeah, when CJ is in a maybe in a kind of dangerous situation, yeah, he can also sense that maybe it is my turn to break the awkward situation, yeah, something
Mhm.
like
That's right.
the awkward conversation. And one time I believe, yeah, he did that, yeah, and it is also very sensible, yeah, of him.
Mhm.
Mm,
To
yeah,
interfere at the right moment, right?
yeah, at the
Yeah.
right moment to save him, to save her. But of course, usually he always care about his food, his treat. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So not only the sense of smell, but also this kind of very keen perception, almost like dogs' intuition, right? People don't feel it, don't feel the danger, but dogs somehow can sense it. Yes, very
Mhm.
good. And of course, what you mentioned already about this kissing, licking, sometimes dogs' perception makes the situations funny. I mean, a lot of funny moments were just because it was a different view a different perception or a different perspective, because we see it as something usual, but dogs, like I remember this moment when what's her name, Gloria, was lying relaxing, putting some cucumbers like a face mask. Do you remember at the
Yeah,
beginning of the movie?
yeah,
And the dog was saying like she liked putting food on her face, like
yes.
it's kind of funny, so these kind of situations make because the dog is basically talking, makes the film funny in a lot of situations. Okay, moving on. So the next question here: what are the most comic scenes? I mentioned a couple of my favorites. What are the most comic scenes in the movie? Share your favorite. Do you remember the moments when you were laughing, maybe smiling?
Oh, yeah.
You don't remember?
I don't remember.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Okay, I remember, yeah, like the scene that when wow, what's the that time I didn't remember what's his name. Like when he got training for a like a medication
Yeah.
dog
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Medical
to
research. Yes. Mm-hmm.
medical research to recognize if
Yeah.
this person has a cancer or
Mm-hmm.
not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he just tried to mimic other dogs, and
Ah.
then yeah, he always say, oh, okay, you already had treat, so if I
Yeah.
do the same thing, I will also have the treat. And he thought, yeah, he
Yeah.
completed that
Yeah.
mission. So what's my treat?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
basically,
and
his motivation
yeah,
was food, right? Again,
yeah,
but
all
he
the
was very
food.
smart and figuring out why does he get food. That's because of this. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Very good example. Thank you.
Yeah. And also the same situation, it also happens afterwards when CJ and oh I forgot the Chinese guy's
Trent.
name.
Trent. Trent.
Yeah.
Trent. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The same thing happened on Trent. Yeah. The dog sensed that Trent probably would have
Yeah.
a cancer. Yeah, and of course that is a sad thing, because if someone was announced that you probably have a sign of cancer, that is very sad. But the action of that dog was very funny, because he was still only care about his treat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
So the irony of the situation. Yeah.
yeah,
I was trying to remember when I laughed even the second time. Remember when CJ, she was sort of like depressed in a bad situation. She was, well, not homeless, but she didn't have her own apartment after she left her boyfriend, and she saw Trent and Trent's girlfriend. Coming across across or like approaching her, and she tried to hide behind the corner, and her dog wanted to reunite them, so he was pulling her out or she was,
yeah,
I don't remember if it was he or she at that moment. And it was like yeah, try, your dog will like give you away. So it's no use. So it was funny for me. And yes, with the kissing, I remember it was funny too, when like, come on, kiss already or something like that. Yeah. Lick each other. Yeah,
yeah. Why
very funny
don't you
moment.
just lick her face?
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I didn't read the book that this movie was based on, but I read some like an article about the book. So there were a lot more in the book going on. But I think they chose nicely, because sometimes they mess up, when they uh, adapt the book into a movie. But in this case, I think they chose interesting moments, funny moments, dramatic moments, and it was well done. Okay. Number 3, what evidence do we have that Buddy was reincarnated? If you
He
remember, sorry.
he remembered all sense, all action, all uh, all people.
Yeah. Basically, the main idea is that he remembers his sort of like family or his pack, and he's very loyal to them, right? He wants to serve them, he wants to help them, even if he doesn't remember at the beginning. He remembers later on, especially when he feels the smell. At least I remember with CJ when she was little. The dog was playing, and then familiar smell, familiar smell. I think I know who it is, and yeah, this is the main signal for us as viewers that this is the same dog. Um, Also, do you remember the action? Basically, how this old man, I forgot his name, the grandfather, how he proved to CJ that it was basically the same dog. Do you remember how he proved that? That it was reincarnation?
His grandfather.
Yeah, when
Oh,
CJ finally came to the farm, and I forgot the name of this man. Anyway, this old man, how did he prove to his granddaughter this is the same? This is his dog. This is the same dog.
they play the American football.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So this action, I don't know, this trick, let's say, when he bends down and the dog is supposed to jump on his back and try to catch the ball. So
Yeah.
it exactly shows that this is the same dog because it's a difficult trick and not every dog knows it. Sorry. um, I shouted a lot yesterday, giving commands to to a squad of soldiers on the
You were in a
shooting.
busy vision, busy work, right?
Yeah, yeah, and I'm not used to shouting, so it's a little bit difficult for my throat. Sorry.
Oh,
So very good. Do you remember any of the names that this dog had? I mean, originally he was Buddy, right? But then, do you remember any names he had or she had?
body and big dog.
Max, I think you mean?
Yeah, big Max, and also
No.
after Max, he was with a stores man and big guy or big what? Is that the same name?
Uh, at the service station somewhere where
Yeah.
was it Max or no? It wasn't Max. It was
No.
I forgot it too, but I know I know what you mean. Yeah.
Because that's the shortest part
Yes.
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the shortest part.
Hmm. Yeah, that's right. And of course, Molly, right? Sorry.
Yeah, Molly. Yeah.
As far as I know, the working title for this movie before they named it, it was Max and Molly, just two of the names that were most prominent in the movie. Okay, next question is a little bit more sort of in depth about Gloria, about characterization. Gloria, it's CJ's mother. Was she a good mother? What do you think? What is your opinion? Why or why not? Explain.
I think that she is not a good mother
Why not?
because she don't care about her daughter.
How do you
And
know that she doesn't care about her daughter?
I remember she had work at night or uh, in the evening, and her little daughter was alone at home.
Yeah, the scene with this thunderstorm when she was scared and there was no mother at home and only the dog sort of soothed her or helped her sleep. That's right. So usually good mothers don't leave their children when they need them. And I'm not even sure that it was always work that made her leave. I think sometimes she was just having a date or something. I'm not sure it was only work. But yeah, it's a good example. Yes, thank you, Oля. Any other opinions or maybe examples of her not being a good mother?
Yeah, of course, I also think she seems not to be a good mother. Yeah, like when, yeah, I have the same opinion with Olga, especially when CJ was in only like 7 or 8
Yeah.
year old. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think that's also the same period, the same time that her mom maybe was successful in her career, like she was a singer. Am I right?
Mhm.
Some,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, a kind of a singer. So also she is busy in her, yeah, she is busy in her career life, and she was still attractive. Yeah, I believe she's attractive to men. So she is also pursuing her own like romantic life. Yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
yeah. So she seems to me like she forgot. Yeah, she forgot actually the priority
Hmm.
probably would be CJ. Yeah, but
That's
it
right.
is very human character, like a beautiful woman, and she lost her husband in a such a earlier period. Why she cannot pursue her own another romantic life? Because before she be a mother, she is also just a woman.
Hmm.
Yeah, so sometimes yeah,
Relate.
I can relate to her. I don't blame, yeah, actually I don't blame her. Yeah, I
Okay.
don't blame her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the issue was not even her pursuing her love life or like romantic engagements, whatever, but that she focused mainly on her career and her love
Mhm.
life. As far as I understood from the movie, I think CJ mentioned something like that. That she didn't even feed her daughter properly. She was like asking, "You'll find something in the fridge or something," and then or pizza again. I don't remember the exact dialect, but she didn't cook. She didn't provide enough food for CJ to even to cook for herself. So she prioritized everything else before like taking care of her daughter. And even if we discount that, I think she didn't really try to understand what her daughter wanted. I mean,
Yeah.
with the dog, when her daughter really, really wanted the dog, she just said no and she forbade the dogs. And CJ was really scared of bringing the dog into the house. And as far as I know from the book, in the book, she even tried to poison the dog unsuccessfully. The dog was just sick, but not dead. So she like the only thing that the girl valued and appreciated, she sort of hated, which is really
Mhm.
weird for a mother, I think. Um,
Mhm.
okay, okay. Question number 5. What offer does Hannah, this is the grandmother, does Hannah make to Gloria, and how does Gloria respond? It was at the beginning of the movie when they were still at the farm and CJ was very little. Do you remember?
Yeah, I
Maybe
remember.
she offered leave CJ at farm.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. She, as far as I remember, this dialogue. She said, "Gloria, I see that you want to pursue a career. Why don't you leave CJ with us, and we'll take care of that while you do what you want to do?" And how did she respond?
Gloria said no, but somebody else, something else, uh, no, and
Do you remember why she said no? I
I
mean,
remember maybe two reasons. One is, of course, like CJ is my daughter, not your
mhm,
daughter.
yes.
Don't deprive
mhm,
CJ from me.
mhm,
And another one is her departed husband's like insurance in how to say that?
Trust. You mean trust fund? Yes.
Trust
Trust
fund, yes.
fund.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like probably if someone, anyone, not anyone. Yeah, no matter. Even if uh, if Gloria will not raise her daughter, and the fund could be used by her grandma,
Mm-hmm.
by her grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we know that because her mother, I mean, Gloria told her daughter later on. Remember how CJ knew about her grandparents at the beginning? She didn't know anything except that they wanted to take away her money. That's what her mother told her. I don't think it was their reason. I think they sincerely wanted to help and they didn't care about the money. But one of her reasons was like Gloria perceived it like they want to take away my money or our money. And what's ironic is that actually she defrauded her daughter. She took away her money.
Yeah.
And I also think she refused this offer because of her own insecurities and because of her own resentment. She wanted to prove somebody that she's a good mom, and just because, like, in spite, for spite. Sometimes people do something nazlo, like just to spite someone. And I think it was one of the reasons. I think she's behaving sometimes very, like, in a very petty manner about small things without thinking thoroughly about the consequences and about the motivations, just emotionally.
Tanya, by the way, you mean spite?
In spite,
Spite.
yes, yeah.
In
Yes.
spite.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, or just to spite somebody. Yes, I will write down this word: to spite someone, just to go against someone's wishes, and for no other reason, basically. Okay. So our next question is why is Trent, he's the boyfriend, actually first he's just friend, neighbor and friend, and then eventually he becomes her boyfriend. Why is Trent concerned for CJ having a dog in her house? Remember when they were little and she just found this dog? She first brought it home, but she tried to hide it from her mother. Why is Trent concerned about this situation, about the dog?
Because Tran knew that her mom hates dogs,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So, do you think CJ did the right thing? I mean, she's a child, of course. We can't say she knows what's right, what's wrong. But um, if you were her, would you do the same? Would you bring a dog to the house and try to hide it, or would you try to, like, convince your mother? I mean, what would you do? Do you like dogs, by the way? I forgot to ask. I think it was the first
I like it.
cats. Me too. I mean, I'm a cat person, but I also like dogs because we used to have dogs when I was living with my parents. So yeah, I am both. um, so any comments on this? What do you think about this child's behavior? Was she right? Was she wrong? Trying to hide the dog from her mom?
She's very bold. I mean, very courageous.
Mhm.
Yeah. And she knows, like, yeah, of course, I also like dogs, but I believe I cannot have the same passion, the same fondness as her.
Mhm.
Yeah, like, no matter what happened, no, even I'm going to against my mom,
Mhm.
I will raise a dog on my own, because I don't think I can do that. So I think her love toward the dog is not only she needs the dog, but also she decided,
Yes.
she is determined that she
Yes.
can take the responsibility to take care of the dog.
Yeah, it wasn't just a whim, but she knew that she would, at least she hoped that she would be able to take care, like feed him, her, him or her. I keep confusing which sex the dogs has at a certain
Me
moment.
too.
Yeah,
Sometimes I
yeah, yeah,
forgot.
yeah. Sometimes me too. So feed and walk and take care and play, etc. So she tried her best, but yeah, her determination, I think, was what I sort of admired. I think it was wrong to hide it from her mom, but I think she was right, knowing or at least suspecting that she would be able to take care of it. Oля, how would you react if your son decided to bring a dog to your apartment?
I
Like,
don't know.
I really want this dog. I would not give him up or her up. I want it to be with us.
Hmm. I don't know, but
You don't know.
uh, I understand that it's
A huge
maybe
decision.
his decision, and he's responsible for a dog.
Hmm. Okay. Okay, thank you. So the next one is, how does CJ convince her mother to let her keep Molly? Molly, it was she at the moment. Okay. So do you remember this? Well, how Gloria actually allowed the dog to stay. So what does she
Um,
say, and what does this conversation say about their relationship? So if you don't remember, I can sort of give you a hint um, how it happened.
I kind of remember, but I'm not sure. That happens when she was fighting her, like because you don't even know the dog exists. Yeah, you don't even know I have been hidden. I have been hidden him for a while. It means you never you never care about me. And another one is because you are always out of the house, and he Molly, she is the one who really accompany me.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All these reasons are true, and I think the girl even said that to her mom. But her actual argument, what worked on Gloria, was a little bit different. I mean, the line was different. Do you remember what she said? She
Another
basically,
one.
she basically blackmailed her mother, if you remember that. It happened after the night of the thunderstorm, and when she was scared, and when her mom confronted her, it was on the porch. They were like on the stairs, and she said, "What if I tell my teacher that you leave me alone?"
All right.
And
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
child services or something like that. Like, I don't remember the exact wording, but basically she sort of hinted or implied that
Yeah.
you're a bad mom, and I can let everyone knows that you are a bad mom. So I will
Mhm.
keep quiet if you let me keep my dog. So remember, yeah. So
Yeah. Yeah.
blackmail,
Yeah.
шантажувати. Let me write it down. Blackmail her mom. So I made a mistake in the word blackmail. It should be blackmail at the end. I cannot edit it afterwards. So, yeah. Uh, so, what does this fact that the daughter had to blackmail her mom, what does it tell you about their relationship?
I think one is the daughter CJ become very independent because she doesn't really rely on her mother, so she talked to her mother like in a
Yeah, yeah.
peer status way. So she don't think that she has to respect that so much, so just like to talk to her, maybe her peer, other guys. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that in that way she can also threaten her
Yeah.
mother. Yeah.
Yeah. Very good. And I think she had to grow up quickly to be able to be like a peer, right? To her mom. And there was something else I wanted to say. And she understood that begging her mom or asking or pleading would not help. So basically, she knew that her mom was very, I don't know, impenetrable. You know, you cannot reach her with empathy or kindness or something. She would just like build a wall. So the only way to break this wall to reach her would be to threaten her. At least that's how I read the situation. I'm not sure I'm right, but it was my perception.
Mm.
Um, do you agree or disagree with that? Would she be able to convince her any other way? Do you think?
In any other way?
Yeah, except blackmail. Would she be able to like, mommy, please, please, please let me keep the dog or something like? Do you think it would work?
No.
Why not?
I think that CJ know her mother very well,
Uh-huh.
and in this reason she said about her behavior.
Behavior, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I sort of I suspect that yeah, she knew her mother very well, and maybe she didn't realize it consciously, but I think she subconsciously knew that her mother would do stuff sometimes. At least that's my reading. Would do something just to spite her. I don't know. It sounds awful. Like she almost hated her. I don't know. I had this feeling like, why wouldn't she let the dog live in the house if she didn't have to take care of it? I mean, her daughter took care of everything. Why wouldn't you let her do it? Just to spite her. I don't know. I don't know. Do you think I'm wrong?
Mm, kind of like because she usually just think her mother won't support her anyway. So if she wants to defend herself, yeah, she has to just maybe behave like to fight with her mom, yeah, instead of to pursue in a soft way to persuading or in a rational way, yeah, that's why she choose to, yeah, like, oh, threatening,
Yeah,
blackmail,
confrontational. Yes,
yeah,
confrontational way.
confrontation,
That's right.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. In one of the, it was either a review or somebody's comment. Somebody mentioned that Gloria was totally narcissistic, like a narcissistic person. Uh, I am not a specialist in, psychological terminology, but does it sound right to you?
Narcissist means someone only like then like
Self.
her, or yeah, like herself and himself, right?
Yeah, and focused only on themselves, right? And to me, it
Mm.
sounded right. Do you agree with this assessment? Or ask yourself, does Gloria care about anything else except herself?
I would say the evidence still not enough for me to
Uh-huh.
say she is narcissist. Yeah.
Okay, okay, not conclusive. Okay, inconclusive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So next question then. Just a sec. Scroll down. What kind of community service did CJ have to do after being arrested? We sort of touched upon that a little bit. And why is it important later on? Crystal already mentioned some of this, like medical research, right? So, how does the middle connect with the end? Why is it important later on?
After being arrested, like when she was with her first boyfriend, and probably they were trading like some drugs, and she was arrested.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
And
Oh.
after that, she was forced to do community service. It's when they don't put you in jail, when it's not, you didn't do something stupid enough to be put in jail, but like moderately stupid. They ask, no, they force you to do some community service. Some people, for example, gather trash in the streets a certain number of hours. But for her, it was not collecting trash. It was serving in this facility where specially trained dogs detect disease in humans.
Mhm.
So it was important, not just like for humanity in general, but it was also important for her life story, right?
Mm.
Yes, it was important because it helps
What's that sound? Are these explosions? Oля?
him
It's a
in the
thunderstorm. Okay.
yes. Because it helps to trend
Yes.
later.
Yeah. Basically, this sort of like misadventure later on leads to early detection of cancer, as far as I
Cancer,
understood.
yes.
Yes, in Trent. Later on, her boyfriend. Yeah. Okay. Um, how does Trent demonstrate his love for CJ? And this is related. How does the movie show us that Trent has always loved CJ from the childhood? I think so.
Mm.
From what can we see that he really cares for her?
Like the first time when they were really just 7 and 8 year old,
Mm-hmm.
and they were pretending. Yeah, they they were disguised, right? Yeah, they were disguising. No, yeah, and yeah, they were disguising. Like, okay, CJ pretended she is her mom. She really loved that dog. She is going to. They are going to adopt. Yeah, they
Yeah.
are going to adopt the dog. Yeah, and Trent suddenly getting another line. They try to just to confuse. Yeah, to
Yes.
confuse the principal. I'm not sure the officer. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, if he is not really like her, if he doesn't really like her, I don't think, yeah, he
He
can
would
really,
go to the
he
trouble
would,
of doing all of this, right?
yeah, really do that way, because his parents were very strict, right? They
Yes.
mentioned that. So
Mm-hmm.
exactly, he was risking himself to help her.
That's
Yeah.
right. Yes. So he would always go an extra mile for her, do something special. Basically, not whatever she asked, but I think it was not in his character to do something stupid or dangerous, like you said. But for her, he was ready to do a lot of such things. Anything else, Oля? Maybe you noticed something how he behaved
I
for
don't
her.
remember
You don't remember.
anything.
Okay, that's fine. But when they grew up, and remember when CJ uh, turned out to be living with her friends and not having a permanent apartment, and she started crying in front of this couple, like Trent and her boyfriend, and that his boyfriend. Oh my God, not boyfriend, his girlfriend at that time. Um, she burst into tears. What did he do? Where did she live after that?
The scene that CJ was crying in front of both of them,
Yeah.
Trent and her girlfriend. That's at the bus stop, right?
Yeah. And after that, do you remember what happened?
Yeah,
Don't remember.
he provided, yeah, a room in his
Yes,
apartment.
In
of
his
course.
own apartment, and his girlfriend was not happy about. I mean, you could read it in her face.
Yeah.
Basically, he cared more about CJ. I mean, he probably didn't think about that, but internally, inside, he cared more about CJ than about his girlfriend's feelings or reservations, etc. Yes, and a lot of small details, small like trifles almost, that sort of let us know that he really, really cares about her. Okay, very good. Going on, next question. When does CJ finally realize that she loves Trent too? Do you remember this moment? Or maybe I have my idea, maybe you have a different idea when it happened?
I have an idea. I'm not sure if my idea
I'm not sure about
is
mine
the
either,
same
so
with
that's fine. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. She found that is after they visited their grandparents, and the grandfather mentioned that, no matter he is Molly or she, or is Molly or Max, or afterwards
Buddy,
what's
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
name,
I mean,
or
all of these
Buddy.
names, yeah.
Yeah, all of these names, he will always just find, he will always try to find you and love you, care about you, no matter
Yeah,
no matter how long the time pass. Just like Trent, he is always
yeah.
supporting CJ, no matter, yeah, like this,
Where
maybe
life
20,
throws, yes,
yeah,
throws them.
maybe 20 years pass, he is still doing the same thing, which is
Yeah.
to love you. Yeah.
Very
Mm.
good. Ola, do you have any other ideas? This
No,
no ideas or
no other ideas.
uh-huh. I have a little bit different reading. I mean, I totally agree with everything you said, Crystal. I think for the viewers of the movie, they sort of signaled this moment a little bit earlier, but I think she herself at that moment didn't realize that. It was subconscious. It was uh, after the midpoint in the second part of the movie, when she was basically homeless, and she saw Trent happy with his girlfriend, and I think she
Ah,
felt depressed for the first time. I mean, she sort of like realized that he's not available anymore or something. I don't know. It was my perception. I felt like she had a feeling of loss. Maybe she didn't realize why it was, but I think for me as a viewer, it was sort of obvious that she has always cared about him too, but didn't realize that. And then she sort of like, oh my god, like now he's not available or something. And yes, the final, I mean, very obvious realization came when you said it came. Yes, at the end of the movie. Yeah. Okay. Good. So, how do dogs demonstrate empathy to humans in the movie? If you want, we can discuss it. If you don't, we can move on. You know, empathy, right? What it is.
yeah. I remember a scene, yeah, which is, yeah, exactly, the situation was really awkward between Trent and CJ, and it, yeah, and maybe Trent and CJ. Oh no, not Trent, CJ, but CJ and her second boyfriend, they cohabitated. They cohabitate.
The bad guy, you mean?
Yeah,
I don't remember his name.
not a bad guy. Afterwards,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
she was living with another
Uh
boyfriend,
huh.
right?
Uh
So
huh.
before she
Yeah. Okay.
was kicked out of his apartment, yeah,
Mhm.
because the dog disliked his boyfriend, right? So
Yes.
always she is the dog is was trying to just, okay, I will try to confuse you, trouble you, and do everything that you will, yeah, you will
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like, yeah,
exactly. So the dog
yeah,
feels that, and he tries to let her know that he's not as great as you think he is.
yeah, he's
And
not a
I
good
remember
guy.
this
Yeah.
situation with his shoes, as far as I remember, it was
Mhm.
him, right? That the dog chewed his shoes or pissed in his shoes. Uh, yeah, this is
Yeah,
the guy
yeah,
you mean.
his
Yeah,
shoes.
yeah. I actually, it was funny for me too, a funny comic situation because uh, my cat used to piss in, I mean, when he was very small, to piss in the shoes of my husband, but they loved each other later on. It was like a personal moment, you know. But yeah, it was a very good, interesting moment, very relevant to what I'm asking. So the dog gave her signals that he's not a good guy, or sort of like trying to push him out of their life. And as far as I remember, he even sort of convinced the other dog, his dog, to team up with him, because when she
yes.
was leaving, you remember, he was a little bit rough. The boyfriend was a little bit rough with her, or sort of like holding her hand or something, and the dogs were standing together and growling at him like, "Arr!" And like, "You
Yeah,
too?"
stare at him. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And the last question: why does Buddy think that when he dies of old age, he will finally sort of go to heaven, not be reincarnated again?
Actually, Tanya, I cannot consider it is, yeah,
You,
Buddy, yeah, what may, yeah, Buddy thinks that way. I don't, I mean, I don't even notice that Buddy has these kind of thoughts. I believe Buddy think as long as CJ is still alive, I will reincarnate. No, every time, no matter, yeah, as long as CJ is still alive.
uh-huh.
That's actually that's my idea. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, the question number 11 actually surprised me. So I would like you to share. Or
I will.
Olga, yeah.
Maybe Oda has some ideas. Do you
Mm.
think Buddy will keep reincarnating when he dies, or do you think he will, I don't know, go to heaven after he dies?
I think that he decided that CJ may live without his or her help, carried without.
His help, yes. I mean, yeah, CJ is at that point of her life when she's okay, when she has a person who loves her and everything is going right for her, right?
Ah,
And
uh-huh.
also, I don't know, I think I didn't imagine it. I think it was in the movie when there is this scene at the end when the grandfather, the original owner, is standing in the field under the sun, and the dog, this Buddy, is jumping towards him, happy. Like, I had this idea, even I have even goosebumps, that his primary and main concern, or owner basically, is this man. I forgot his name. And he was trying to be loyal to his family just because it was his family, this man's family. And when this man dies, the dog wants to be with him. And when the dog dies, they will always be together in heaven. I think it was a scene in the movie, right? I'm not
Uh-huh.
mistaken. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that gave me this idea that he's not planning on reincarnating again.
Oh,
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying that I'm right. I just have this vision. I have this I read the situation this way. It's my interpretation. You can have a
Mhm.
different one, but I'm just giving you my insight. Maybe it will change your mind. Maybe yours will change my mind. So that's why we
It
have
gives
this discussion.
it exactly gives me another perspective. Yeah, because I mean, in my shadow opinion, yeah, most
Don't say
of,
that.
yeah, the dog spend most of his or her time just tracing CJ, but I almost forgot. Yeah, actually he was belonging to her CJ's grandfather.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the mission to protect CJ is because his grandfather ordered that, right? So
Yeah.
he was just really, the dog is just really loyal to to try to complete the mission, yeah,
Yeah.
of his grandfather.
Yeah.
So actually eventually he was loyal to his grandfather, not CJ.
I
So
mean, being loyal to CJ is a part of a bigger mission, being loyal to her
To
grandfather.
his grandfather, yeah, to her grandfather. All
Yeah,
right, yeah. It's a very big realization for me.
really. Okay. I mean, maybe it's easier for me because I've seen the first movie, because this is the sequel. There was a movie, it was shot 2 years previously, 3 years, in 2016. It was called A Dog's Purpose. If you want, you can watch it just for yourself. We are not going to discuss it. It's how this grandfather, he was a young man at the time, so how they became friends, basically, this man and the dog, the boy and the dog, and what happened before, how he met his wife, etc. So it's interesting. Some people say that the sequel was actually more interesting and better than the prequel, the beginning. I am of two minds. I like them both. So it's up to you. You can watch it or not. But when you have seen both films, it's easier to see the dog in a certain way than if you didn't see the first film. Then, of course, you are more focused on CJ. So I totally get it. Okay, that is the end of our discussion. I think it was wonderful. I really appreciate your, sharing your opinions. And as I said, it's not that I'm not saying that my opinion is right and you should see it as I do. I really like when you give me a different perspective and we can compare and, discuss it. So I love our discussions. Um, so I was thinking about our next movie, what could be our next movie. Before I give you my suggestion, maybe you can share what film you would like to discuss. An English-speaking film, I mean. Do you want to discuss a particular movie, Crystal?
I think, yeah, like maybe light, high, light movie. Yeah,
Uh-huh,
of course,
light.
like this dog movie and the last one. Yeah, the pursuit of happiness. Yeah, and probably for me, historical is
Too
a little
heavy.
bit too a little bit heavy. Yeah, of
Uh,
course, it has it, a cash educational, yeah, educational meaning, of course, yeah, but a little bit heavy.
yeah, and just before you joined, we sort of discussed this with Ola. She expected a lighter movie, and it turned out it's not just a comedy but drama. But from my point of view, when I prepare discussion questions and the movie is very light, usually there isn't much to discuss. Usually people just say, "Oh, I like the movie; it was fun." But the more discussable it is, the usually not heavier, but not so light it is. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Um,
I understand. Yeah, as long as when you start to think how what to discuss, you will find it is not that light. Yeah, because we will dig into more deeply. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Mm.
If you have some idea about a lighter movie that maybe you would like to, to organize, to host a hangout, I totally don't mind. I mean, I'm not asking you to. I'm asking if you would like to do this. Would you like to try, or do you want me to do it? Um,
I yeah, actually I still need you lead us. Yeah, because I really like all the question you designed for us. Yeah, that is really a big part. Yeah, I think,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
which that the conversation and that the handout become very interesting, very enthusiastic. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what makes it interesting for me to find a movie that can be discussed, not just, like, did you like it? Yes, I did. But find controversial points or something to dig into. But sometimes, yeah, sometimes it can be difficult to come up with interesting question, not just discussing the and what happened after that, like everybody knows what happens after that, but
Mm.
something really discussable. I will try to think of some movie that is lighter, but i can't I can't guarantee that all our movies are going to be light movies, like comedies or something. uh, because of personal, I prefer dramas, not necessarily tragedies, but something with deep emotional upheavals, ups and downs. uh, I have a comedy on my mind right now, and I think we can discuss it. It's not too shallow, because comedies, why I don't like comedies, because they are mostly too stupid to discuss. I don't know. I
Yeah,
have this,
sometimes just shallow and
yeah,
you don't
yeah.
have
I have this,
any thoughts.
yeah, just prejudice against comedies. But I have one comedy that a couple of comedies that I actually like. So maybe we'll take one of those comedies and discuss them. Okay.
Okay.
Have you
Sure,
seen?
sure.
It's called. Just let me think. A French Kiss. It's an old comedy. I mean, Meg Ryan is
Meg
still young.
Ryan.
Is
Uh-huh.
still young in that movie. It's about a Canadian who went to France, and I mean, it's an interesting plot. It's a little it's a romantic comedy. Some guys probably, I mean, I'm not sure how guys would like it, but I think it's a nice movie. It's pretty light. It's not stupid, at least, and I think you will like it. Okay.
Okay.
So if you have time during this weekend, watch it in any language you want, and then if you have an opportunity, watch it in English to compare the versions, and then we can. And later, maybe a week later, I will send you the questions. By the way, if you come up with something interesting, like, why do they do this, for example, send me the question. I will add them to the general list of questions. Okay.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank
I will
you.
be super grateful. So thank you so much for joining me today, for your input in the conversation. I really, really enjoyed it. Uh, so you kept me company. Thank you so much. If you want, you can leave a donation, but it's not mandatory. See you in 2 weeks. And a week before that, I will send you movie questions. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, have a
Thank
good
Okay.
you very
weekend.
much.
Bye.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
Bye.
you.
you.